Hi, I'm Andy Kinnick. You join me today at the fabulous Maver Dynamite Ayfield Lakes on what can only be described as a glorious late summer's day, approaching autumn. What a fantastic day. We ain't going to get many more like this, but today we're hopefully going to show you through a few things how we can put some fish on the bank for you. Nice few tactics which will catch you some fish right through this late bit of summer, early autumn, before we approach winter. So what we plan on doing today, because it's nice weather, I feel sure we're going to catch a few fish on a waggler. Pellet waggler, they could come really shallow in this warm sun what we've got today, but on the other hand they might want to stay a little bit deeper, so we might have to search the layers with a waggler. And if all that fails, I've got another couple of rods made up on my side tray ready, a nice sort of bomb work what will catch fish through this time of year. And I've also got a method feeder which I can also chuck exactly over that line where we're fishing. So without any further ado, let's get on, let's have a little chuck, see if we can put a few of these fabulous carp on bank. I'm going to start on waggler today. Beautiful flat carp, presentation's absolutely perfect for it, and we're just going to see if there's a few fish actually cruising. I'm not going to say the upper layers because that'd be wrong. We're not seeing very few. There's the odd fish topping here, there and everywhere, but I wouldn't say they're actually competing for any bait we're physically going to be catapulting out there. So we're going to start, oh here we go. It was better than what I expected. Like I said, it's quite a deep lake is Ayfield, and we've not started. I see so many people with pellet wagglers fishing sort of like a foot deep, 2 foot deep and things like that, and it's not really the right way to go. A good starting depth probably on a lot of venues is 3 foot, but today you'll see I've started about 4.5 foot, 4.5 to 5 foot. It is a deep lake is Ayfield, and the depth of water I'm probably chucking into is probably in the region of 10 to 12 foot. So by fishing 4.5 foot, grassy hole, I'm roughly about 1/3 of the actual depth of the lake. Which, what you will find when you're fishing, be it wagglers or even pole fishing, there will be an ultimate depth what you will catch these fish on. Have a look, Crassio. It's popping back. That was a good start anyway. Yeah, going back to what we're saying, there'll be an ultimate depth where these fish will be comfortable at. Yeah, it's not to say we're going to have to chase them up and down through the layers through the day, but always have a good starting depth, and you can, by feeding, constantly feeding, steady away. I see so many people when they're trying to catch on a waggler, even on a bomb, they think that, you know, one catapult full of bait is going to last them 10 minutes, and it's certainly not the case. Get them used to them pellets going in, get them used to them falling through the water, because that's the key to any fishing. What we're doing is constantly trickling a few pellets in and getting them used to feeding. Oh, we had another bite then. Well, it just proves that there is a few fish literally coming into these upper layers of water. And it's just a nice simple feathering waggler down. As soon as that's gone in, starting to fish, pick my catapult up. Half a dozen pellets. I did a quick indication then. What you will notice is what I'm trying to do. I'll always feed a few pellets just to start with. Get them few falling through the water, then feed it again quite quickly. So it's keeping that noise going in, and it's also encouraging the fish what are out there to come look for them pellets. basically once them pellets have physically dropped past where your hookbait is, they're actually not doing a job at all. You're just literally hanging your pellet there. Another indication. Right. Here we go. And did you notice the bite? It came quickly. I'd literally cast in, I'd feathered the float in, the pellet had dropped over, I'd fed a few pellets, under it's gone. I think we're going to have a good day. Done the hardest bit, we've got the bite. It might be another Carasio, but oh, look at that. Lovely. Big bite. I think one of the main keys to this type of fishing and any type of fishing is just keeping active, keeping busy, trying to make things happen. You know, constantly casting, working your peg, feeding regular baits, and just trying to make it happen. I see so many anglers who'll literally just, you know, sit there, they're not active, not feeding and things like that. You know, this time of year the fish, you know, they are still active and they're wanting to feed up. They're getting ready for winter coming. They want to put that little bit of weight on and things like that. So, you know, you've just got to make things happen. And by that constant feeding and casting and things like that and looking for signs, you can make things happen for you in your peg. I've been fishing a while and I'm starting to get a few bubbles starting to appear in my peg and things like that. So this fish wanting to feed. Now one thing I'm going to say about these bubbles is lots and lots of bubbles out there where I'm feeding my pellets and things like that. And I think the biggest mistake a lot of anglers make, or people think they think them fish are feeding on the bottom. Doesn't always mean, because there's lots and lots of bubbles and big plumes of bubbles coming up in your peg, don't actually mean them fish are going to be on the bottom. Sometimes they get into that much of a frenzy because these pellets literally going in all the time. They're literally chasing around for them and snatching them pellets as they're dropping past. And by doing that, they're expelling air through the gills, and it gives you the false impression that these fish are on the bottom. So keep an eye out for that when you know any fishing. Lots of commercials, you'll get little bits of silt on the bottom, and it does cause these bubbles. But do keep an eye out, because little tip for you, doesn't always mean the fish are on the bottom. So just look for them signs. There we go. Come off. So yeah, chuck that waggler in. Chuck that waggler in just out like that, following it up, few pellets. Once they've gone in, sunk a while, follow it again with a few more. You're just trying to trick one into having it. as them pellets are falling past yours, hopefully one's going to make a mistake and you nail it. Little indication then, look. Like I said, don't be shy. Keep a few pellets going in all the time. You'll notice then I just fed some pellets just as I was about to recast. So as I cast out again, mine's hopefully the very, very last pellet they see. Fill it up, a few more pellets back over the top. And in theory, if I were any good, I'd catch one. There's still a few bubbles coming up. There's one or two still appearing out there. Another thing as well, just because we get these really, really warm days, it doesn't automatically think that every fish in the lake is going to be up, is going to be shallow. Because they sometimes trick you. Which is why we have other rods set up to actually fish on the deck. Right, let's talk you through the gear we're using today here on the Waggler. Right, I've got an 11-foot Reality Plus match rod, superb rod for this type of venue, any type of Waggler fishing. It's quick, it's responsive, it's got a lovely through action, which when you get them fish under your feet, it's ideal for playing. Great rod, brilliant money, all under 100 quid, well under 100 quid, and I just love them rods for this type of fishing. I've matched it up with the MVR 3000 reel. Nice, small, compact, plenty of winding power on them. Sits absolutely perfectly balanced with the rod. As a main line, I've got the 019 power reel mono. Great mono for Waggler fishing. It floats. If you want it to sink, you can put a bit of line sink onto it, make it sink. But I want that line to float on top, so as soon as I'm in there, I get that quick bite, I can like pick it straight up and it's straight on. It's really robust, like I say, and really nice abrasive resistance on it as well. So brilliant line for Waggler fishing. I've got a foot hook length of MVR rig mono, that's 018, with a 16 pellet carp, which I've got a nice little band to it which I can just band my 8mm pellets on. And then Waggler wise, my trusty favourite X8 4g pellet Waggler. Lovely holler tip. That sun's shining today, that shines just like a beacon out there. I can see every little dip and movement and indication on that. 4g, perfect for what we're chucking, literally about 20-25 metres. Goes in, nice delicate splash. With that little dive disc on bottom, really makes them Wagglers good. And just to attach it, I've got one of the MVR grip stops above it. These are the large ones. I've got one large above and two large below. If at all it should start slipping, I can slide another one of them onto it, but two is adequate for a float of that size. And I attach that with a little feeder link, which absolutely perfect for attaching these Wagglers. Yes, you can use them on feeders, they were designed for feeders, but for Wagglers I think that is the brilliant, most best connection I've ever used. And if you want a bigger float at any time, I can literally just unclip it, clip it back on, and I'm good to go. They're all fully loaded, no shots needed, and it's as simple as that. So we've had a few fish on Waggler. I feel sure that although it is really nice and there's a few fish milling about, I think with the amount of pellets we've put in, we're getting a different form of bubbles out there now. There's a lot like smaller bubbles rather than big plums. So I think them fish have now physically started to chase them pellets down to the bottom, and there's going to be a few fish feeding on the bottom. So we're going to pick his bomb rod up and see if we can catch a few fish on that. Let's see how we go. Just had that feeling there was some fish had started to go down onto the bottom. Like I said, we've got a beautiful day, you know, glorious sort of late summer, early autumn day, and you'd think them fish would want to feed literally on the top all day, or certainly shallow. But we had them few fish on Waggler, and it was noticeable then, like I said, with the bubbles what were coming up, that some fish had started to go down on deck. And here's proof. Great method this, really is a good method. This time of year, and going into winter when you're not looking for many bites, but a really great method for catching fish this time of year. Here we go. I do think it's a brilliant method. Lot of the club lads that go out there, it's a real nice, easy method for them to catch some fish. But there is a few little tips and wrinkles that can put you a few more fish on bank, and we'll go through some of them today. And they are lively this time of year. Come here. There he is. Lovely bomb coat fish. Get out there, get some more. Right, let's get back out there. Show you one or two little tips. Dead easy, nice little single pellet. And these one or two little, like I said, wrinkles, tips, just to put you a few extra fish. And everybody thinks bomb fishing is quite a lazy method, but it's not. It's another method where you've got to remain active, you've got to keep feeding, you've got to remain positive, and still be quite busy in what you're doing. And one thing you will notice, before I've actually chucked out, I'm literally picking half a dozen or so pellets up, and I'm literally double and treble pouching pellets. Because I know them fish are now down on the bottom, I want to keep them down there. So what we've done, we've put three lots of like 10 pellets in. We're going straight over the top of them with bomb. So, as opposed to a pellet waggler where we were putting the waggler out, feeding the pellets round it, and encouraging them fish to the top, by feeding them 3 pouches of pellets, what we're doing, we're trying to keep them fish literally down on the bottom. Just set this up. Because we've fed them 3 pouches, there's quite a lot of pellets falling through water. So the theory is they're physically not going to catch them all. Some are going to get to the bottom where you've gone in with your bomb, it's laid there, they come down, take it, and off you go. That's in theory. Getting a few liners, a few little indications. But although I've put them pellets in, again, I'm not standing on my laurels. I want to put a few more pellets out there. Not loads. Half a dozen to 10 pellets. Again, a quick double, quick treble pouch. I want to keep them down. You've got to constantly keep putting a little bit of bait in. You've got to keep casting, and by that, you know, casting on top of your pellets, casting past where your pellets are falling. Here we go. Casting this side of your pellets, and remaining active in what you're doing. That was the perfect, you know, the perfect example that I was talking to you there, and the rod's gone round, and off we go. Got all time in the world to get them in. Clutch is set nice. If that fish wants to scream off, clutch is going to be set. It ain't, you know, it ain't going to break me unless I do something daft. Try and keep that rod low so you get it somewhere near netting range. There we go, look. In we go. Nice big mirror. Perfectly hooked, bottom lip, just where you want them. Right, let's get him back. I'll talk you through exactly how we've set this up and how it's hopefully going to put you people some extra fish on bank. Right, let's talk you through exactly how we've gone about it on bomb today. Dead straightforward setup, really nice, easy, but very positive, and it's going to put you a lot of fish on bank. Right, rod wise, my rod of choice, I've got the MVR 10-foot feeder. Fantastic rod for bomb fishing. It's a rod we no longer do, but I will tell you there is going to be a Mark II version of the MVRs coming out in spring next year, so do check out on them. But my other rod I've got set up, I've got a method feeder on should I want to do a bit of that today. Yeah, that's the Reality Plus 10-foot. Every bit as good. Really like them Reality Plus rods. They're great. But like I say, for my bomb work, got the 10-foot MVR. A really nice rod. I've matched that with the MVR 4000 reel. Great reel. Bigger reel than what I had on with the Waggler. It's got a lot more winding power. Just something you can really, you know, crank into them. And slightly heavier. A wasp on me. Slightly heavier, but great winding power. Reel line 0.24 MVR carp mono. Can't fault that line. You know, it's really strong. It's a real dull greeny black colour which matches the lake colour perfectly, but it ain't going to let me down. It's not going to let me down when I'm hooking a fish, playing them, and, you know, wanting to crank them in and get them in. Bomb wise, I've spoke about these bombs numerous times. The MVR finesse leads, they are, in my opinion, the best bomb system on the market. Totally revolutionised my bomb fishing. The way it sits, the way it's on the line, it's an inline system, comes down to a nice neat little clip which I attach my hook lengths onto. You get that little bit of semi bolt rig fashion to it, but completely free running. And that's the 10 gram I've got today. I'm not going a long distance, and when it goes in, I want it to mimic an 8mm pellet dropping on that water, just so it sounds like there's extra bait going in. Hook length wise, take no prisoners. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. 0.20 MVR rig mono to a size 14 power air rig. Tied them up myself, little bit of silicone on there, and a nice bait band. One that I can just flick a nice 8mm pellet into and that's my setup. It's as easy as that. But it gets you some fish, and it's just an ultra confident setup. And that's how we've set up today. There we go, chuck straight back out, straight round. Definitely some fish to be caught early doors on Waggler while they were still up and about, but by constantly putting them pellets in, it's forced them down to the deck, and it's just the right thing to do now. It's all about reading your peg. It's all about reading the signs and reading what the fish literally want to do. Like I said, a lot of people literally get caught out this time of year thinking, you know, sun's out, it's red hot, them fish are going to be up in the water. Yeah, there's fish cruising about and whatever, but for every one you see on the top, there's another 50 underneath them. So, you know, read the signs, see what's happening in your peg. We're just attached to another wild Maver Dynamite Hayfield Lakes carp. Oh yeah! Don't you just love it? Right, well, we're going to call this last fish at day. My arms are aching a little bit after catching a few fish. So let's hopefully get this one in net. It's been a fantastic day. Oh, a lovely ghosty to finish, look at that. Lovely. Oh yes. You don't need many of them to pound this here. Self a bit of line. Perfect hook hold again, like bottom lip, just exactly where we need them. Proper feeding, weren't going to come off. Put that down. And here we have it, look. Lovely Hayfield ghosty. What a beaut. Eh? Catch a good few of them in a match and you're certainly going to be onto a match winner. What a gem in this brilliant autumn sunshine. Right, let's get him back. Or here. There we go. Well, what can I say? What a fantastic day we've had here at Maver Dynamite Hayfield Lakes. Really good. We started off, like I say, lovely late summer, early autumn day, sun shining. Them fish wanted to feed in the upper layers straight away this morning, and you know, we took full advantage of that by fishing, yeah, a pellet waggler, but we fished it around about 4.5 to 5 foot deep. It was the best depth to catch him at. Although there were fish milling around on the top, them feeding fish were just underneath them. And that's, you know, taking advantages of your peg, taking advantages to where them fish want to be, puts you more fish on the bank. And like I say, a lot of people would have turned up that day and they would have fished it 2 and 3 foot deep, seeing them fish. Yep, they're on the top, they're not interested in feeding. It's the ones underneath them what you've got to catch. And that's how we did them. But we took them few fish early doors on Waggler, we caught them, and it were noticeable that they'd actually changed their feeding habits. And by us constantly feeding a few pellets, them fish had literally dropped down to the deck. That's when we picked the bomb rod up, and that has been easily the best method what we've caught more fish on than any of them. So we've had a great day here. Hope you've learnt a bit. Hope you've learnt a few little tips and wrinkles. Like I say, what I will say to you on both them methods, stay positive, stay active, keep feeding, keep busy, and it'll put more fish on the bank. Right, till next time we catch up with you. Tight lines, see you all soon.